Live. Welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life and where you get the truth. And nothing but the truth, my writer's life anyway. Before I begin, subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button. Hit that bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one exciting video. And I finally did that right. That reserves me the right to screw it up tomorrow. Anyway. So today, just a quick talk about everybody assumes that when they publish a book, if it's not a bestseller, they just right off the bat, and publishers do this too. If it's not a bestseller right off the bat, they just sort of toss it aside, and then they sort of toss the author aside too. Even if an author has had like a runaway bestseller, if the next book or two don't do as well, then they're kind of like, see it. That's the way they are. Remember what I told you before about like you're not a human being to a publisher. You are you're a number on a spreadsheet. So, but the good news is that if you can get your rights back to a book that didn't become a bestseller, if you can possibly get those rights back, you have a chance to recreate that book, to give it a resurrection, so to speak, and try the whole process all over again, which is exactly what I did with this book, my first major novel, As Catch Can. What a shitty cover, huh? It's just awful. This was from Delacorte. Got some nice quotes in the back, one from Harlan Coben, one from Don Winslow. But anyway, the package is not great, and the title was never great. As Catch Can. The original title was The Innocent, but my editor, who at the time was a friend of mine, or became a friend of mine, we even were in a band together down in New York. He's like, well, we already have a book called The Innocent, so and we had to come up with titles, and he came up with like, how about As Catch Can? And me being like 32 or something, I'm right out of writing school, literally like a year out of writing school. I was like, okay, which, that's another lesson. If you don't like something an editor suggests, then you don't have to take their word for it. You don't have to do what they're telling, what they want, what you think they want. Anyway, so they gave me a whole bunch of money for that book. You've heard it before, $250,000 or something for that book and a follow-up. And it sold like, I don't know, maybe 7,000 copies altogether between that and the paperback, maybe. Or maybe it was more like 5,000 copies. I'm not sure, to be honest, but nowhere near expectations and nowhere near the amount of books that would have had to have been sold in order to make up for that kind of advance. Like, for me to make up that kind of advance, I would have had to have sold like 100,000 copies, maybe more. Luckily, I was able to get the rights back to that book and to Godchild, the follow-up. And a smaller Maverick press re-released it with a really cool cover. I don't have the cover in front of me, but anyway, and we changed the name back to The Innocent. Which I thought was a good move. And it doesn't matter to me if like Harlan has a book called The Innocent and Baldacci has a book called The Innocent and like 10 other people have books called The Innocent. If anything, I think it kind of helps because you show up when people search for them. But anyway, when this book was, when the new version of As Catch Can, now called The Innocent, was published, I believe in 2011, I'll never forget. I was in Rome at the time with my then girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, it was back in the time where like you'd check your Amazon numbers like crazy, like all the time, right? Like where's my ranking and all this. That's nothing you do anymore because rank doesn't mean nearly as much as it used to. But anyway, I'm looking at my rank and it's like golf, like it's going down, 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 which it means you're selling a ton of books. And so like by the time like I got out of Rome and like say to the airport, because this was happening towards the end of my trip, I was in the top 10, the overall Amazon top 10. So like I'm moving a lot of units. I'm moving a ton of units. And that proceeded like all month. And I was moving like 3,000 copies a day of The Innocent. In the end, like it took 3 to 4 weeks for me to move 100,000 copies of that book. And it happened 10 years after the original publication. So books are not like spoiled fruit. Books, you can have a book that hangs around for 20 years before it becomes a bestseller. One famous example is Herman Melville's Moby Dick. He said Dick. Sorry, I know. I can't help it. But Moby Dick tanked. Must be like an Albany thing because Herman Melville's from Albany. But later on, Moby Dick would become, the enormous bestseller that it became, and many movies were made from it. One famous one with Gregory Peck. I don't know if old Herman was alive to see his book come alive like that. I hope he was. But anyway, from what I heard, like after he wrote Moby Dick, he had to like actually get a job, like on the waterfront in New York City. So, in any case, so if you're an author and you have a book out there and it's just like kind of stinking up the joint, you've got an option. You can just let it ride, see if somehow it takes off. You can try some different marketing techniques. You can, whatever, you can pump it on social media a little bit, or you can actually redo the cover, maybe redo a title and kind of resurrect it and start all over again. So it's up to you. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little inspiration, all you authors out there who are just like depressed at your sales. Don't be, because you will eventually, if you keep punching, eventually you're going to hit something and you'll hit it big. All right. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And ciao, ciao.